What's up, everyone? So it's Tuesday here, and this is Tilna from Melbourne and Ashan from Sri Lanka, and we are both joining in today. And we are going to be giving some talking about a topic which is actually common and why people are like confused when they actually don't make progress and why they get discouraged, like in a fitness journey. And we are going to be talking about with Ashan's experience on the things he has actually done and the things I have done as well. So we are going to be sharing our experience and probably most of you all will relate to it as well, because why we are actually doing what we are doing is because we have gone through some of most of the things, like most of the people our clients actually have gone through as well. So hope you guys are having the best day ever. I'm having the best day ever because woke up at 5 as usual and got things done, steps are done, workouts done. So all about taking care of clients today. So how are you? How's your day, Ashan? So are you done with your day as well, because it's about like 11 o'clock?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, around 70% done.
Yeah,
Most of my
exactly.
work, just like yours, start off very early in the day. So
Yeah.
as soon as I wake up, it's work mostly, which is good. Not
Yeah.
much time to think. Just have to go on.
Yes, exactly. So this is why we love what we do, and the lifestyle we have is about being healthy and fit. So Christmas is coming up and New Year's coming up. So we are going to be talking about today is actually a topic which is actually why you don't actually make progress in a fitness journey and why that actually happens. Um, Today I actually posted a story about grass is not green on the other side when you don't put water in it. So just like that, we are going to be implying that to today's live is the fact that when you are actually on, like, let's say on your fitness journey, when you're on a diet, if you get discouraged first 2 weeks because it's hard or you don't see the progress you're supposed to see, most of the time people actually make this mistake of like changing the diet every 2 to 4 weeks. So when that happens, there won't be a particular system you'll be actually going ahead with, because you need to give it time with what you're doing. Ashan here is going to talk about like one of the things he has done, and that's actually like when he. I'm not saying intermittent fasting doesn't work; it does work, but going to be Ashan is going to be talking about like the people talk about they do like ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting. What else is there? Like there are so many other types of diets like you see on
Yep.
the internet, and people say they follow it, and it didn't work. That's actually the complaint they actually say. It's not that the diet doesn't work, it's just that you're not doing it 100%. You do parts of it, right? So, Ashan, you can actually talk about the period. Were you like really fasting, or were you like having the cheat day and all of those things? What were you doing exactly, and what actually didn't actually make it work?
Yeah,
What was the
yeah.
reason?
I think the fasting period I did well. Somehow, going ahead with liquids and trying to stay without eating. I think I did that 100%. But the problem was, within the eating window, I think I exceeded my calories almost every day, right? Because
Yeah.
this is what happens. You have to finish eating by 7:38, somewhere around
Mhm.
that. So what I did was, I tried to rush in and then hungry all day. So at that point, I totally lost my discipline. It's like having a cheat meal every day. After doing so well. Again,
Yeah.
intermittent fasting. Nothing against it. It works. It's just that people who uses that, uh, they think that it's easy. They think that you can eat anything during the eating window, and then when you fast off, it's good. But that is completely wrong. So I think that's one of the biggest mistakes I did. I think earlier the live I told you how that hour went. So that's what I had. Cups and cups of tea, so much. So I didn't do that well. That's why it didn't work. So I remember the first 3 weeks it worked well because I did it right, and then I just took things for granted, and I started adding things that I shouldn't do.
Exactly. So that's actually why like things don't work well. So some of the things I've actually heard, like not heard, like I listen to these things like pretty much every day. This is like the best example. So people say like ketogenic diet works, and they've been following it for a while. But when you actually go into
Yeah.
detail, they don't actually follow it. Like they don't do that. Like they do something else. So that's actually one other factor. Like I've seen. So recently I don't remember the name of that diet, but the diet actually required you to like have higher carbs and certain things. But when you are supposed to have those higher carbs, you're supposed to do other factors as well, like exercise. Did you do it? No. Did you walk? No. So definitely high carb diets won't work that way. So you need to be active. You need to keep yourself moving while doing these diets. So there's no particular diet which actually we believe like which you say with comes with fancy names. We say like it will work. It's actually customized to you. So only diet we believe like works in a fat loss journey is actually calorie deficit. So you need to have, doesn't mean like when you are in a calorie deficit you're supposed to like eat whatever the hell you want. Still got to make sure you eat nutritionally dense high volume food. So let's say for example you're on a deficit and you are only eating chocolate for your entire day. That's all you eat, and you're maintaining a deficit. You will still lose fat, but will it be worthy? No, because uh, you will actually do it like if you want to and see what happens, because you will end up getting hungry at one point and you will give up. Because what we recommend is to make sure you don't have calorie dense food, but to have nutritionally dense food. So when you have like calorie dense food, that's what usually happens because it backfires. Um, so always like one of the mistakes people make when you're doing intermediate fasting is they just go on binge city like after the fasting period is done. So I've seen like 100 kilo people like wanting to lose weight rather than actually um, eating calorie dense food, like being on a deficit while
Yeah.
moving better. What they do is they just cut down everything like for a period of time, and then they just eat whatever the hell they see within the eating window. Let's say like it's 4 hours. If you are consuming like 4,000, 5,000 calories, it's not going to be a deficit, it's a surplus. So that's what Ashad did. And I
Yeah.
have done things like that as well. So when I didn't know what calories were, when I didn't know what macros were, that was over 10 years ago. I used to like do this. And it doesn't mean like you need, when you're on a diet, you're supposed to be like restricted or anything. You can still have food you like, but it's just that you need to have better choices with it. It doesn't mean you can't have chocolates. You can still have chocolates. When we are on a surplus, one of the methods we do is actually this. So 80%, 90% of our food comes from calorie dense food. That means rice, chicken, and we can make stuff like pastas, even burgers, and all of those things the way we make it. And 20% comes with snacks where we have like things like most people like. So um, that's what I wanted to put it out there, Ashan. So, Ashan, like, tell us about like the period like before you joined my program. Like, one of the things you did was like fasting. You actually lost a lot of muscle mass. That's what you
Yeah.
mentioned, right? There was a period where you stayed vegetarian, like vegetarian or vegan. I'm not. I don't
Vegetarian.
remember.
No, 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 not vegan. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So this is another concept. Like people turn into vegetarian not because of like think thinking that it's like the healthy way to go. Nothing against like people who are vegetarians or vegans. We have clients like who are vegetarians and vegans. It's
Yeah.
easy to manage when they follow. And there are like certain transformations which we'll actually show in the future where there's been like vegetarians and vegans being transformed. So so what I wanted to say is the fact that like when you if you choose like to be vegetarian just because like you doing what you're doing is actually not helping you lose weight, that's not true. Nothing will change like if you just turn into vegetarian. Nothing will change. Your weight loss won't happen like just because you turn into vegetarian. Like if you, one of the mistakes they make is like this. So when you turn from there to being vegetarian or vegan, they assume they are going to be healthy, but they end up eating a lot of sugar. Like, did it happen to you, Ashan? Like, that's something like
Yeah.
which happened to you? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That actually happens all along. So this is the case. So intermittent fasting also requires discipline from you,
yes,
right? So if
yeah,
you're not disciplined, okay. So this is one thing I learned. I mean, even now, when I think about those days, okay, I really could have preserved a lot of muscle mass if I had done it right.
yeah,
Okay, so that's what I didn't do. I mean, I didn't take my proteins in, I didn't take my carbs in. I mean, it's just food, it's just junk food, which came in. And sometimes, I would only have like one meal a day, and it's all just junk food. So
Yeah,
I mean, I've done the hardest part, but again, I've just let the progress go on. So the case is, you need discipline. Whatever you pick, if it's ketogenic diet, warrior diet, you can call it anything that you want, but everything requires discipline. So that
yeah,
is what is lacking at the end of the day.
yeah.
So there is no easy way out. So so far with my experience, that's all I can say. There is no easy way out. You just have to go at it. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen.
Exactly. So that's actually one of the things like I've actually seen. So if you're actually struggling, like if you know how to count your macros or calories, like, and this is one area people struggle is the fact that like when we give calories along with the macros and micros, like one of the things like people struggle is like, do I need to hit all 3 points, like protein, fats, and carbs, like all three together? Like, if you are a beginner, one of the things I would suggest you do is actually focus on the protein intake and also your calorie number you're supposed to hit. First, give it a priority. And once you do that, once you make progress with it, then focus on fixing on the other two. Just be consistent with the protein and calories numbers like you're supposed to be at first when you're having your own deficit. If you're following something by your own, like counting macros and calories, like using apps, there are so many apps out there. So if you're doing that, just focus on those two first, like hitting the protein intake and hitting the calorie number. And then later on, like once you come to a certain level where you are about 10 kilos or 5 kilos lighter, you will feel better, you will have a better mindset, and you'll understand food better. And that way you will actually turn into the other two macronutrients as well. So that's what I wanted to add today, and hope this was actually valuable. And New Year's coming and Christmas is coming, so hope you guys are excited for it. Another 5 days, I guess, and another 11 days here will be gone. And so that's what we wanted to talk about today. Hope this was valuable, guys. And yeah, so make sure you actually water your plants. Sorry, water your grass. Like if you don't water your grass, like it won't be greener on the other side. So um, Einstein, I guess. So he called it insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, like
Yep.
expecting a different result, right? So when you don't water the plants, like I said, like follow exactly what have been told in a certain diet or something you actually follow. You will not see results when you do not actually stick to it to a consistent period. So at least like
Yep.
stick to it, like whatever you're following for a 12 weeks period. So when you do follow it for a 12 weeks period, assess yourself after that, and then go from point A, like from that point, like go to the next point. So that's what we suggest, like everybody should follow. Like that would be the right ideal way to go. So
Yep.
make sure you put water into your grass, and that will actually make sure like it'll be more greener, right, Ashan?
Yep. Exactly. So it's what you do every day that matters. So make sure that it's giving you progress, and things will be fine. The number of complaints will really go down.
Exactly. So have a great day, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this live, and we are going to be coming up like on a regular basis from now onwards because we love doing this. And hope you guys
Yep.
enjoy this, and have a great day, guys. And talk to you guys soon.